I'm Andreas Russo, you know me. So we're here with
Ron Hendon.
he's the specialist in.
Scar correction and blemish wrinkle reduction.
Okay, how long have you done that for?
30 years.
30 years.
30 years.
And what got you into that?
A client that was in need. I was a tattoo artist, body artist, and I had a client come to me that had a huge scar where she had had a boyfriend that attempted to cut her breast off, and they'd had
to cut her
breast off. A domestic abuse problem.
Domestic abuse?
Yes, and she had a huge scar. She wanted a rose put over it. She came to me as a body artist, wanted a rose. And I said, you know, my knowledge exists that you can't cover a scar with tattoo pigment. And she was upset and crying, and I said, well, let me try. I'll try. So we did the rose, and it looked beautiful, and she was thrilled. And she came back about a month later, and the scar was still visible through the middle of the rose. It had rejected all the pigment, and there was rose particles on either side, you know, of the drawing of her breast. So it now looked worse, effectively. And so I said, well, let me try again. I adjusted some techniques, some needle groupings, and I noticed
needle groupings.
Groupings, yeah, the size of the needles I was using, the number of needles. We made it different in some aspects, and so we worked on her scar, trying to pack in pigment for a body art piece. And I noticed something when she came back in the next time. It was not only holding more pigment, but the scar itself was changing, the texture of the scar. So I did some research and found out due to certain body processes, you can create a process where the body creates its own normal skin cells and gets rid of the elastin fibers that cause scar tissue. So that was scar tissue, yeah. Scar causes the body to make elastin fibers when it's damaged deeply. But when you're working on the layer that we're working on with the tattoo, it actually it causes the body to regenerate normal skin cells. So we actually caused the body to regenerate normal skin cells while we were breaking up the elastin fibers with the needle groupings. So I spoke with some plastic surgeons, spoke with some doctors. This was pre-internet, you know, back in the 80s. So we talked with a lot of people and found out it was a very solid basis, but nobody was doing it.
So how old are you, if I can ask you?
55.
Oh, you don't look it.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So going back to that, so
Yeah.
you actually microneedled the area then, without putting any pigments.
And I created the microneedle process. I brought it to South Africa, to Nora in the 90s. And Dr. Des Fernandez and Dr. Cameron took my class and kind of ran with it in other aspects, and it's become large now. But microneedling really corrects scar tissue. It fools the body into thinking there's minor damage, and then it creates new skin cells. So
this is done with microneedling only?
Microneedles. I'm sure there's other things, like there's a derma roller, which is a type of microneedling that you can also get effective scar correction with. But we use the microneedles. That's our
Any
that's our
particular
techniques.
brand?
All different brands. I have a technique that I teach called the Hendon New Cell technique.
The
Hendon New Cell. Hendon New Cell, which is my last name is Hendon, and then it's New Cell, but it just creates your body, makes your body create new cells.
And then this technique, is it in books or?
No, it's pretty much in my lectures. We have a manual, but we have a manual for it, but it's very simple. That's one of the things that's very unique about the process that I've created. It's so simple. I can teach it to someone in 2 days, and it can 2 days. 2-day class. We do a lot of hands-on, and it changes lives because doctors will tell someone, say a burn victim, an accident victim, there's just nothing we can do. Because they're working with scalpels.
Yes.
They're cutting the layer of skin with a scalpel that causes the body to release elastin, which is scar tissue. We're not working that deep. We're working very surface. We're breaking up the elastin, and we're causing the body to generate normal skin cells. So the body will generate normal skin cells for a minor damage, but for a major damage, it will regenerate elastin, which is the body's scar tissue. So.
Okay, and basically you only got one manual so far.
We've got one written manual. Yeah, we've got lots of videos and lots of training videos for our training. Yeah, we have videos, and we have a real comprehensive class we've been doing for about 15 years that has melded and morphed and developed. We offer also vitiligo, the pigment abnormalities that people will get on hands and face, pigment abnormalities that people will get on the hands and face. It's really common in Africa, here in South Africa, the white patches on darker skin, very problematic for people that have it. It's genetic. So.
And then all these videos, where are they? How can we get hold of these videos?
Right now through my class. Our website is mittrainingacademy.org. mittrainingacademy.org. Our site is temporarily down, but it's being revamped and will be up in about a week. And it allows us to connect with students all over the world, and we go to them to train. We'll train as few as 3 people. We have a unique class system in that you don't need to come to a class we're training. We don't schedule classes in cities. We have students call us and say, I'm in New York, I want a class. Fine, I'll teach you how to set up one where you'll actually make money on the class for hosting it, and we will train all the people that are in your area. So we let the students pick where they want a class, and then we come to them because we want it to be available for everybody.
And how do they know about you, the students, in the first place?
Usually it's through these type of seminars that we're doing today here in Johannesburg. I do a lot of lectures, and I'm known somewhat in the industry because of my microneedling that I created. And so we have students calling us regularly, and I hope to get more information out there when we get our new website out as well. So.
Okay, and then do you do any online training?
We are about to do some webinars. That's part of our revamping for the year 2020. We'll have some webinars available. It's going to work that you will subscribe and take the webinar, but we always have hands-on. So we will either come to your city or you'll come to us for hands-on training, but you can go ahead and spend as much time with the material in the webinar as you want before the training, for the official hands-on training. But it's a wonderful industry. It's needed, very needed, and it's an amazing window of opportunity right now because there's so many people needing it, so few technicians doing it. So.
Okay, and is there any substitute to the hands-on training, or is there any way to do it remotely? Or
I've done Skype training before where I have a client there and then the student will have a client there. It's not my preferred method, honestly, because I like to be there and be able to feel the skin while the person's working and see any little bit of serum that's there, and Skype is a little limiting. But for people that would like to get involved in it and they're absolutely not available to come to me, we can do a Skype class, and I like to supplement it later. So.
And your website is again?
It's mittrainingacademy.org.
All one word?
All one word, yes.
Okay, so we're going to put it in the video.
All one word, great. Yeah, and that's our new site. It should be up in about a week. And we will have information on webinars as well as on our training in local cities and things.
And then what are you going to be teaching those techniques in this event?
Yes, we're gonna do some hands-on in this event. We won't have a full class, but we're going to have a demonstration tables where we'll have our clients and all the technicians here will be able to watch.
Okay.
So it'll be a brief overview of our training, and we do that at a lot of the lectures and seminars we do around the world. But we can do a full 2-day. It's a very intensive 2-day class. We have spread it out over 3, but it can be done in 2, and it's really a lot of hands-on. That's my focus. I want each technician to have done at least 10 or 15 clients before they go out and do it on their own. So it's simple techniques, but it makes them very comfortable, and they feel like they've already been working on clients for, say, half a year by the time they get out and do it, and so it's comfortable.
So it's mainly practice and little theory?
I'd say half and half. It's probably half. We do a lot of theory too. A lot of theory. Everyone takes home all our theory and our PowerPoints with them, so it's a lot of information to absorb, but they take that home, they can review it at their own leisure as well. And a lot of times once you've done the hands-on, you almost, it makes sense. You don't even really need the theory anymore. The theory prepares you for the hands-on. Once you've done the hands-on, it is so simple. We've simplified the techniques to where a 2-day class is perfect. I mean, it's not too little. A lot of things in the industry like permanent cosmetics, I would never recommend a 2-day class for all of those procedures. This is one intensive, simple procedure that can change lives. So it's a really effective procedure.
Oh, good. I think that's how much for the class, for a 2-day class? For a
2-day class, I'm currently charging $2,600 US per person, US dollars. You receive lots of hands-on for that, and we are possibly going to do some classes that are going to be at a little bit of a discount. So watch our website. We're really intense about getting people into the industry. We really don't want the price to be a limiting factor for you. I feel it's an extremely fair price for for what all we offer, but there are still people that's difficult for, and they need to contact us anyway. We'll find a way to get them into the class. So we want that out there for our clients and for all the people that need it. It's just so needed for the.
So basically, the application is scar attenuation.
Yes.
Scar attenuation using microneedling, and sometimes even a bit of micropigmentation, or
sometimes, yeah. And my biggest thing that I try to teach is camouflage has been around
makeup.
Well, it's been around in the industry for years, but camouflage,
permanent makeup, sort of.
Well, no, scar correction, for camouflage, but it doesn't work. You'll hear people say scar camouflage, and that's an oxymoron. It doesn't work. You can't camouflage a scar. You can only camouflage normal skin because the elastin fibers will not hold pigment. You have to correct the scar and then. Okay, and
just a sec.
You have to correct the scar, and then you have to inject the pigment. So we discussed that the camouflage can work, but not on a scar. It's very limited on how that can work. So scar camouflage, a lot of people in the industry have been very frustrated by that. They'll try to camouflage a scar, and it doesn't work. And it never works, so I'm not going to do this. We teach something totally different. It's about correcting the scar tissue, normalizing it to normal skin, releasing strictures, burns, things like that. We can really change people's lives. Then camouflage is the icing on the cake when the scar is corrected. So it's very effective, and it completely life-changing for people with huge and offensive scars. Big abrasive scars that are facial scars, things like that. We can change them. They can be normal again. So.
Yes, and you've got before and after pictures.
Absolutely, tons of before and after.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, thank you very much. All right.